Don't be fooling around, I'll tell the truth. Nothing secret.
One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, children, let's see how much we can do before recess.
Tri-Boy, great day. Welcome to the House of Cards. I'm Black Jack. Hey, salute to everybody in the house. Salute. Monog in the house. Molten Gate in the house. Main Bond in the house. Roger W in the house. Salute.
Boom shakalaka!
Coming at y'all one time on the football Sunday. I know a lot of y'all getting ready to watch the game, you know what I'm saying? You got your cookout going, you doing what you do, Monog, I feel you. I just want to holler at y'all real quick. The title of this show is, So You Telling Me We Came Way from Afwica. Otay. We got buck week. We got buck week on the thumbnail. Hey, Israelite Plight in the house, salute. We got Buck Week on the thumbnail. Instinct in the house, salute. Salute to Instinct. We got Buck Week. Y'all know who Buck Week is, right? I know some of the youngsters in the house might not know who Buck Week is. Like, if you're young, I feel you. If you don't know who Buck Week is, it's all good. But if you're around my age, if you're older than me, you know who Buck Week is, right? You know what I'm saying? A little dumbass show, you know what I'm saying? The Little Rascals, you know what I'm saying? So I just thought it was funny though how they had the intro for the intro with the Buck Weed in class. It was doing the ones and the twos. I threw that in there, you know what I'm saying? Just being a little funny, just a little humor. But Buck Weed, I got the title of the show. They say we from Africa, cause you know that's what these teachers are teaching the kids. They're teaching the kids that. Why are they teaching little babies that they from somewhere else? And I got Buckwheat looking like Buckwheat really don't believe him, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I put the title like it is, cause you know what I'm saying, it's funny though, but you know, why is they teaching this to kids though? Why they teaching kids that they from somewhere? You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing. No other group of people, the children aren't being taught that they from somewhere. But you know, our children are being taught since babies that they're from somewhere else for some reason. But we're gonna get into it. We finna get into it. Try it, but I got a couple of sources I want to look at, you know. And some of these sources, they be having hijacked material in them, but we gotta look past the hijack. We gotta understand the truth as we know it. We gotta decipher the truth from the hijack. Cause sometimes these people that write, they don't even know that they hijacks. They just writing what they getting bits and pieces of the truth, and then they interpreting it how they interpret it because of the indoctrination that they've been through. You know, when they read stuff about Indian slavery, American Indian slavery, they don't know these hijacks. They don't know that they talking about so-called black people. They think they talking about the fake $5 red man.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make
But that's
change.
not who they're talking about when they say Native Americans or American Indians was getting enslaved. They were talking about black people, the people who the people who ancestors, who today the descendants, they call it African Americans. They're talking about you when they talk about Native Americans or American Indians being enslaved. And we can prove it. It's so easily proved. Like this article here, like this hijack that wrote this article, he got a lot of truth in here, but he just ain't interpreted right because he don't understand what he's seeing. And it's funny because they'll ask themselves, why is this stuff hidden? They'll write these articles after they did their research, and then they come blasting to the world. Why is this hidden? Screaming at the top of their lungs, right? So this called The Last Real Indians, and it's written by who was it written by? Where's his name? I don't know. Anyway, we'll see it sooner or later. Well, the title is January 25th, 2016. The Unknown Native American Indian Slave Trade. The Unknown Native American Amerindian Slave Trade. Now, when they say unknown, why is it unknown? The truth is unknown because it's being mislabeled. The Native American slave trade is being called the African American slave trade. The Native American slave trade is being called the transatlantic slave trade. This is why it's unknown. It's known, but under false titles. So let's dig into it. It's saying the hidden. Native hidden in plain sight, right? They just calling you an N-word now. Calling you black. Calling you African American now. Hidden in plain sight. And the hidden Native Americans Amerindian ancestry in Barbados. And the Barbados and Guyana Locano Arawak origins of the infamous Salem witch trials by Damon Corey. This one article will do more to open your eyes to a hidden aspect of history in the Americas. One that saw American Indians, Amerindians, being the first and last human beings to be sold as slaves in the Americas. And I see this person that wrote this, he don't even realize he talking about black people. He think he talking about some other people because he don't know. But we gonna show him that he's talking about us, and we can prove it very easily. And as recently as 100 years ago, when 30,000 Amazon Indian slaves were killed as slaves for the American rubber industry, big business that seeks profits at any human cost was the culprit once again. It would also reveal how there are descendants of native tribes from all over North America and South America in the Caribbean islands, especially Barbados. He put that, look at that. He put that in a capital, especially in Barbados. He was screaming today, who have no clue of the native DNA in their veins. Look, now this is where the hijack rolls in. This is where he's lost. He don't even understand. He's so hijack. He's seeing the truth, but his hijack misled him once again. Look what he wrote here. Any white Barbadian who can trace his local white ancestors back to the years 1625 to 1700s in Barbados will almost certainly have some degree of Amerindian DNA in them. You know, that's fictitious hijack, whether they want to admit it or not. So common was the practice recorded by many credible historical sources during the period of English settler men in Barbados having Amerindian wives and half-breed children that were recorded as white upon baptismal records, who were captured elsewhere in North America, you know, like what they call Canada and the US, in South America, and etc., and sold into slavery on the island. So if they were sold into slavery, first off, they wasn't looking too mulatto and they wasn't looking too white. We know anybody from the Americas that was getting enslaved was a Negro. We know the white slaves came from Europe. So we know in the Americas, it was the Negroes, the indigenous Negroes getting enslaved. That's why when you look up the information about slavery in the Americas, it only shows Negroes. Because those Negroes that they showing you are not Africans. Those Negroes are the American Indians, and we can prove it. Now look, it say even the infamous Salem witch trials having Barbados Islands and Guyana Arawak Indian origin most people today are completely unaware of until they read this article and the facts I lay out below. Here is but one incident from the history of slavery in North America, the United States in particular. We know that's where it was concentrated. In 1637, a group of Pequot Indians, men and boys, having risen up against English colonists in Connecticut and been defeated, were sold to plantations in the West Indies. Now, when they saying it here, they referring to the Caribbean, but we know the West Indies included North America when we go by historical facts to the origin of things. Look at now and say, look, now this is important right here. Let's read that again. It say, a Pequot Indians, men and boys, having risen up against English colonists in Connecticut and been defeated, were sold to plantations in the West Indies in exchange for African slaves. Now see, that's very important how they say that, because we finna prove all that's a lie. They always say they traded, we traded the Indian slaves for Africans. They telling you they took Pequot Indians from North Americans, who they called Negroes, by the way. They took Pequot Indians from North America, defeated them and enslaved them, sent them to the Caribbean, and traded them from Africans from the Caribbean? We know that's highly false, because we can always prove that very easily. It's very easily proven just by the records. The slaves coming from the Caribbean were not Africans. They were American Indians also. This is what the lie is being told. In other parts of Europe, in Columbus Trading Center on the island of Hispaniola, which is Haiti, in the Caribbean, it was the native Arawak Indians who were enslaved. Enslavement of native peoples in North and South America became common, not only in the case of Spanish merchants and settlers, but for other European settlers who learned the practice from the Spanish. In what became the U.S., the Spanish first enslaved the Taino in Puerto Rico in the 1500s. The French and the Danish, who colonized what are now the U.S. Virgin Islands, also enslaved the native population. Caribbean and South American native slaves were sold in the British colonies in North America. So the Caribbean island native slaves, Tainos and Arawaks, were being sold, not Africans. So when they tell you here that they were trading Pequot Indians from North America, who also were Negroes, who they were trading these Pequot Negroes to down there in the Caribbean, they wasn't getting Africans. They didn't trade them for Africans. They didn't take them to the plantations in the Caribbean or the West Indies in exchange for African slaves. Those were Arawak and Taino Indian slaves they got traded for. And these Pequot was Negroes also. And that's why they got enslaved. During the Pequot War, hundreds of thousands of Pequots were sold into slavery to colonists in Bermuda and the West Indies. The Pequot War was a conflict between the Pequot tribe and the alliance of colonists and their alliance with the Narragansett. Now look at here, the Pequot War. Let's roll down. Look, cannibal Negroes, Pequot captors, cannibal Negroes, Pequot captors, and the cannibal Negroes. So who were these Pequot American Indians? What were they, red men?
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
No, they were not red men. They were American Negroes. They called them cannibals to enslave them. They called them cannibal Negroes. They called the Pequot tribe cannibal Negroes just so they could enslave them. They had no reason to enslave them. They called them cannibals and enslaved them. Here is but one incident from the history of slavery in North America. In 1637, a group of Pequot Negroes, men and boys, having risen up against English colonists in Connecticut and been defeated, were sold to plantations in the West Indies. Pequot Negroes being sold in the Caribbean in exchange for Arawak Negroes, not African slaves, Arawak and Taino Negroes. You sending Pequot Negroes from Connecticut to the Caribbean in exchange for Arawak and Taino Negroes. You ain't fooling me, because when we look at the slavery records, all we see is Negroes. You ain't fooling me. You can't tell me that you traded them for these weren't Tainos. I know damn well these Tainos slaves that you were trading were Negroes. And what became the United States? You enslaved these Tainos in the Caribbean and South American, native slaves, indigenous slaves. You ain't take no Africans. You ain't take no Africans to the Caribbean. You enslaved all the indigenous Negroes. You ain't take no Africans to the Caribbean whatsoever. They were Arawak Negroes, Taino Negroes. All right. So it say, in exchange for African slaves, that's a lie. These Negroes were not Africans. They were American Indians, allowing the colonists to remove a resistance element from the midst. The tribe's women were pressed into service in white homes in New England, where domestic workers were sorely lacking. How common was it for Indians to be enslaved by Euro-Americans? By Europeans. No, don't start calling them Americans now. By Europeans. Counting can be difficult because many instances of native enslavement in the colonial period were illegal, because that's why they had to call you an African, because they knew it was illegal to enslave Indians. They called you Negroes Africans. Or ad hoc. It left no paper trail. The paper trail is that just start calling them Africans now. Don't worry about when people ask what part of Africa they came from and what slave ship. Just say you don't know what happened to it. Don't worry about it. Just say you don't know what part of Africa. Just say you don't know. Just say, then when they ask you what happened to the Indians that was enslaved, you just say they died off. Don't tell them you changed the classification. You started calling them Africans. Just say they died off and the Africans got here out of nowhere. And that way you can take the same group of people and you can make them die and you can make them live again under a new title. You say, but historians have tried. A few of their estimates, thousands of Indians, hundreds of thousands, millions were enslaved in colonial New England, according to Margaret Ellen Newell. Allen Galley writes that between 1670 and 1715, more Indians were exported into slavery through Charlestown, South Carolina. So more Indians were exported, more Negro Indians got exported out of South Carolina than Africans were imported. Because we know no Africans were imported. So more North American Indians got exported out of South Carolina than South American or Caribbean Indians got brought into it. Look at that, because they're going to say that Africans were imported. You mean Arawak and Taino Negroes from the Caribbean? You kicked out more Negroes from indigenous Negroes from South Carolina than you brought Negroes in from the Caribbean, talking about it was Africa. Brett Rutherford recently attempted a tally of the total numbers of enslaved, and he told me that he thinks, all right, I gotta skip past because they got this little. They finna just go through some hijack, and then plus they got like this little nude little dude. I don't want to even play that. I don't want YouTube to try to take the video down or whatever. Talking about nudity. All right, look. The practice dates back in the earliest history of the European colonies in the future U.S. Take the example of the Pequot, who were enslaved in 1637. After clashing with the English. Why they enslaved the Pequot? Were they red men?
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
They enslaved the Pequot because they were Negroes. They enslaved the Pequot Indians because they were black people, so-called blacks. They was Negroes. That's why they got enslaved. So the Pequot, which was initially instigated by struggles over trade and land among the Europeans. I skipped. Hold on. The practice dates back in the earliest history of the European colonies in the future U.S. Take, for example, of the Pequot, who were enslaved in 1637 after clashing with the English. As Newell writes in a new book, Brethren by Nature, New England Indians, Colonists, and the Origins of American Slavery, by the time the ship Desire transported the defeated Pequot men and boys to the Caribbean, Carolina Negroes getting sent to the Caribbean. Colonists in New England, desperate for bodies and hands to supplement their own meager workforce, had spent years trying out various strategies of binding native labor, of binding Negroes, native Negroes. Salute. They weren't bringing in no Africans. Salute. Fictitious lie. Legend Mother Charles in the house. Salute. Wiley in the house. Salute. During the Pequot War, which was initially instigated by struggles over trade and of land, trade over tobacco and over land among the Europeans, the Pequot and rival tribes, colonists explicitly named the procurement of captives as one of their goals. See, the colonizer said, man, we ain't going to Africa. We need to catch these Pequot Negroes right here. That's our goal. We need the land, we need the tobacco, we need to catch these Negroes, and we need to send them to the Caribbean. Once they get down there, we'll just say we trading them for Africans. Rushforth points to instances of Apaches and other Plains peoples being sold through Quebec to the Caribbean. There were Plains Apaches who showed up on sugar plantations in Martinique, he said. Now think about it. The people who they tell you Apaches looking like old fake Geronimo looking ass person. $5.
Sit your $5 ass down
You
before I
don't
make
see them in the Caribbean. You don't see them in these places. You only see the Negro. Even when you look at the history of slavery in these places, you only see the Negro. So who are the Apache? Who are the Pequot? They are the Negro. That's why you only see the Negro. You are seeing the Apache. You are seeing the Pequot. It's not who you thought it was. You thought they were Africans. Snyder points to the story of the West Indians, of the Westo Indians, a group originally from around Lake Erie, up there by Canada in the top part of the U.S., who spoke an Iroquois language. They left the North in the middle of the 17th century and moved to the southeast. But then the colonists got anxious, so they were afraid that this group was too powerful. Snyder said in 1680, a group of Carolinians armed the Savannah Indians and empowered them to break the Westo's strength in the area. See, they divide and conquer. The remaining Westos were themselves sold to the Caribbean as slaves. All these Indians getting sold to the Caribbean as slaves. Where are their children today? Who are their descendants today? All you Negroes in the Caribbean that got a history of slavery, you thought you was from Africa. You thought you was from West Africa. Your ass was from the U.S. or from the Canada, from the North America part of the states. They lied to you. They brought you on the ship down there and told you was from Africa from that point. They lied, and they took Negroes from down there and they brought them up here and said they were from Africa at that point. They're a bunch of lies. And these fake pictures, see? These cartoons, see? Here are some major facts on the USA, Caribbean, Amerindian slavery you might not know. In the American South, European slave traders, mostly British colonists, who arrived there via the Caribbean island of Barbados. Who all in Barbados? Yeah, all right. All the slaves in Barbados was Indians, huh? Demographics, what a racial makeup. Show me the racial demographics of the Barbados. Alright, I know how to make you show it to me. I got time to play with you, Google today. You and your AI. Yeah, the Negro is 92% of the population.
Boom shakalaka!
Today, we will call you an Afro Barbado, huh? Ain't nothing Afro about you. Afro don't exist. Your ass ain't from no damn Africa. Your ass came from North America. Your ass came from Carolina somewhere. In the American South, European slave traders, mostly British colonists who arrived there via the Caribbean islands of Barbados, operating out of Charlestown, now Charleston, South Carolina, the city they founded in South Carolina, engaged in thriving business, selling enslaved Indians, selling enslaved Native Americans, not Africans, who were made to walk all the way from the interior locations where they were captured. Not in Africa, they were captured in South Carolina. To wait in ships, not in Africa, not in the tunnel of no return. The tunnel of no return was in Carolina, Naga. To wait in ships that would carry them to the Barbados. So where are all these Indians today? If they red men, where are they today? Where are they? They don't exist because they never were red men. It was the Negro. The numbers are difficult. To wait in ships that would carry them to the Barbados, New York, Antigua, and other ports in the Atlantic world, where they would spend the rest of their lives working as slaves for Europeans. The numbers are difficult to calculate, but an estimate of 50,000, perhaps more. They say perhaps it was more. Perhaps it was 92% of the people that are there today. American Indians were exported from Charleston alone. That was just out of Charleston. Thousands more were exported from ports like Boston and Salem, and on a much smaller scale by the French from New Orleans. They talking about on a much smaller scale. You don't even know the number talking about a smaller scale. It wasn't no small scales. It was all large scale, especially out of New Orleans. Untold numbers. I bet these numbers untold. They're getting told today. Untold numbers which scholars are just beginning to calculate. Yeah. Well, how they scholars if they just beginning to calculate? To me, it sounds like they not the real scholars. Salute. Will ultimately include the thousands or millions who were not exported from their region, but lived out their lives as slaves on plantations in Virginia. Who lived out their lives as slaves in it say it was the Indians, it was not Africans. So let's see what these slaves on Virginia plantations look like. If they were Indians and not Africans, let's see how they look. Who lived out their lives on as slaves in plantations in Virginia. Let's just get a quick look. Go to images. Slaves on plantations in Virginia. Let's go. The numbers are difficult to calculate it, but an estimated 50,000, perhaps more. Ultimately including the thousands who were not exported from their region, but lived out their lives as slaves on plantations in Virginia. As farm laborers in Connecticut, and as domestic servants in New France. All these Indians, huh? Although the scale of enslavement pales in comparison to the African trade. Hijack, right? It is notable that from 1670 to 1717, far more American Indians were exported from Charleston as slaves than Africans were ever imported as slaves. Because remember, they told you throughout the whole time of slavery, only about 388,000 supposed Africans were just Tainos and Arawak Negroes from the Caribbean was brought to North America. They say only about 388,000. 388,000 were just other Indians. Scholars have long known about the Indian slave trade, but the scattered nature of the sources deterred a systematic examination. When have scattered sources ever deterred examination? Salute. That sounds like a hijack. That sounds like somebody that want to dodge the truth. Yeah, the scholars been knew about it, but the information's so scattered, they just swept it under the rug, you know what I mean? They just focus on Kunta Kinte. That's why the Dawes Roads Indians, the $5 red men, they don't know nothing about slavery. When you ask them about slavery, they say their ancestors had black slaves and they call them freedmen. But they're not real Indians for real. No one had any conception of the trade's massive extent, and that it played, no one had any conception. Yeah, right. And it played such a central role. It played the central role in the lives of early Americans and in the colonial economy. Most importantly, see, Kunta Kinte wasn't nowhere in sight. It wasn't no Shaka Zulu, no going to Africa, none of that fairy tale. It was American Indian Negroes. Most importantly, we can now tell the stories, the tragedies that befell so many who were killed in slaving wars or spent their days as slaves far from their homes. They and their people have been largely forgotten. The Natchez. We just did the last live stream on the Natchez. Salute. Natchez Negroes. Salute. The Westo, the Yamasee, the Yuchi, the Yazoo, and the Tawasa tribes are among the dozen of Indian peoples who fell victims to the slaving wars, with survivors forced to join other native communities to survive. Indian slavery is an important part of South Carolina history that many know nothing about. All we hear is about the Barbados-Carolinos connection, two indigenous connections, as if it was some great thing to celebrate. A group of racist English slave traders in the Carolinas and in Barbados destroying entire tribes of peoples for personal profit. Tell us about that, why don't you? No other state has as many historic documents that chronicles Native American slavery as South Carolina. Salute. All you Negroes got answers. Yeah, my great-great-grandma was from South Carolina. I bet she was. She was. You telling me nothing I don't know. Yeah, my great-great-great-granddaddy was from Virginia. Yeah, I know. You ain't telling me nothing I don't know, nigga. American Indians were most numerous in South Carolina, and the number of Indians exported was larger than that from any other colony. Indian slavery in colonial South Carolina made a large and incredible mark upon the tribal histories of the American Indians, not only of South Carolina, but the southeastern United States. In short, the destiny of many of the American Indian tribes of that region was influenced and determined by Indian affairs, which centered in Charleston. All right. Indian slave trade was expanded when a Scottish colony was started in Port Royal Island, South Carolina in 1684. The first law relating solely to slavery was passed in 1691. This law was operative for almost 2 decades. the Assembly passed a regulation for slaves so comprehensive that it deserved to be called South Carolina's first slave code. Much of the verbiage for this slave code was borrowed, in large part, from the Barbados slave code of 1688. The South Carolina statute defined any Negro,
Boom shakalaka!
mulatto, or Indian. Whatever he say he is, who had been bought or sold as such to be a slave, and the status of slave was extended to the children of such persons. Although some historians contend that Indian slavery in the USA dwindled after the Yamasee War of 1715 to 1716, but quite the opposite is true. They just started calling them Africans. There were now even more Indians to be slaves, and their labor was in demand because they knew how to grow all these American crops like tobacco, cotton, everything from America. The Indians had it, and we stole it, but we need them to grow it. High demand. There was an estimate of more than 2,000 Indian slaves in South Carolina in 1724. Way more than that. Indian slaves were branded like cattle. You know, this whole story they told you about you supposed to be an African getting branded. Yeah, they brought you from the slave ship, nugger, out of Zimbabwe. They branded you like a cattle. All they did was took Indians out there and they took the word Indian out and put African in, you fool. Say they branded you like cattle, with the most common spot for branding men was on their right or left breast, with the first and last initials of the owner. Excerpt above, right? Melicon. Melicon wasn't white. It's fake Melicon right here. It's fake King Philip. Headquarters Negroes. Fake ass King Philip. The great Sachem, Chief Melicon, aka King Philip of the Wampanoag. The great Sachem, Chief Melicon of the Wampanoag. His wife, Nanoskoki, and only child, a 9-year-old son, was sold into slavery in the Barbados. Salute. So you know that nigga had to be very dark and nappy-headed. Well, the descendant of his bloodline may still exist. Ain't no may still exist. It do still exist. Salute. They know the descendants of Melicon got sent to down there in the Barbados, Naga from South Carolina, and his family and people still down there. They still down there, and they don't even know it. They think they from Africa. Unawares of this ancestry to this day. Unaware of the ancestry, they in Barbados. It's a Naga down there. It's a family of Nagas down there in Barbados. Ain't no telling how many of them it is. Their last name might be Melicon. Unaware of the ancestry to this day. This is sad, man. This is sad, bro. This shit make you mad. Why? We all read about the notorious American Indian slavery the Spaniards unleashed in the Greater Antilles and the Bahamas on Taino Arawaks. But here are some more that we do not hear about in our history books in chronological order. Yeah, I don't hear about none of them. I bet, you know what? I bet that Naga Dr. Umar come from a great tribe of American Indians. If Dr. Umar did his research for real, that Naga probably kin to Melicon. He got the spirit of somebody, like, you know what I'm saying? He just confused as hell though. I bet if I'm gonna do Dr. Umar, I'm gonna call this Naga. Let me call that. I'm gonna do that Naga genealogy. I'm finna show this Naga who he is. I bet Dr. Umar come from a great Indian tribe. Papa Daddy in the house, Quiet Storm Charm in the house. I bet the most Pan-African booty scratching ass Nagas, they probably come from some of the greatest Indian tribes and don't even know it. This is sad for real. They out here chilly and got pom-poms and all talking about Shaka Zulu, And Naga probably really killed the Metacom. Sad. They say his bloodline may still exist. His people are unaware. They're Pan-African booty scratchers now. Alright, these other ones you don't hear about. 1511, King Ferdinand of Spain issued an authorization in December of this year for the taking of American Indian slaves from Barbados. The vast majority of local Igneri Arawaks were captured by Spanish slave raiding ships and sent to Haiti, sent to Hispaniola, where they were worked to death. All of them ain't died. Them not gonna have some babies and babies. They had, they call them Negro. You call them African Afro-Haitians and shit. 1518, King Charles V of Spain wrote to Rodrigo de Figueroas, the judge he sent to Hispaniola, and instructed him that the Igneri Arawaks taken from Barbados to Haiti were to be treated as the natives of Haiti. The Taino Arawaks were being treated. Now he say treat them the same. King Charles bitch ass.
You big dummy.
Biatch.
Now who sent you, nigga?
I'm about to send you.
Fucking
Fuck
word,
King
and
Charles
this shit is
and
over.
his descendants
And I ain't
and
playing,
his
nigga.
family. 1585, Aurelius' publication mentions an advertisement referring to the islands of Barbados at 13 degrees latitude north, the exact position of Barbados, which at that time was 2 islands. The smaller Pelican Island was only joined to the main islands in the last 60 years. It also mentions that the Dutch had captured and taken the last Igneri Arawaks they found on Barbados with them to start the Guyana colony, the Guyana colony. See, they was all the colonizers, the French, the Dutch, the British, all of them was taking Indians and capturing Indians and enslaving them. All the slave raids on Indians. Nobody was going to Africa. The French, nobody. It was all in America. And they were just moving niggas around. The French might trade some slaves with the Dutch. They might get some slaves from Barbados and say, we're going to take them to Louisiana and we'll bring you some of these Negroes from Louisiana. Now, quiet is kept. Everybody Africans from here on. That's what they was doing. This simply. 1626, Sir William Corteen claimed Barbados for the Crown of England and financed a settlement with 80 Europeans and 10 Africans. 10 booty scratches? Yeah, right. Later the same year, another 90 European settlers. See, when I say they settlers with a few kidnapped, pubescent English girls this time were sent to the colony. Also later this same year, 40 Igneri Arawaks from the Dutch colony in Guyana were sent to Barbados, as the English has paid for the Dutch to send them to teach the English how to plant cassava and tobacco. Who were teaching how to plant the tobacco and all the other plants? I told y'all it was the Negro. Salute. Teaching the English, the Europeans, how to grow the tobacco. Oh, wait a minute. No wonder they put 100. That's supposed to have been 1600. So there. Yeah, who were teaching? Who were teaching everybody how to grow the tobacco? The Indians was. Who were teaching everybody how to grow the tobacco? The Indians. It wasn't no Africans. Who was teaching them how to grow the tobacco? How did I teach the Europeans how to grow the tobacco? We need the Indians. We need the Indians to teach us how to grow it. We're gonna try to grow something in Europe. Come to Europe with us, little Indians. Teach us how to grow the tobacco. say these nigglets, they're good at growing tobacco. Say, teach me how to grow it, little niglet.
Niglet. Niglet. Niglet.
Et l'Amérique négrée, au bon sauvage. Au négré l'Amérique.
And say, yeah, we need you to teach the Europeans how to plant tobacco. The Indians, huh? They say the Negroes and the Negro Indians in the Barbados. They say they got sent. The Dutch colony in Guyana was sent to the Barbados as the English had paid for the Dutch to send these Negro Indians to teach the English how to plant tobacco. Elders among these 40 Ignari Arawaks, it is recorded, told Captain Powell that their ancestors had formerly lived on Barbados, and they were taken in Guyana against their will by the Dutchmen. See, they weren't from Africa, fool. The Indians
Shakalaka!
he was from. We know where we from. We ain't from no Africa.
And this shit is over. And I ain't
Brought
playing
us
no
over here talking about teach somebody how to grow some tobacco. They should have just killed all of them. But let them folks in. Look at that, he all standing around the cross. Look at the tobacco all down here. His goof ass with men in tights looking ass. Tampa Bay fucker Neil looking ass. I see what's going on. The thing about me, you will never fool me, cause I can see. I see the story being told. I see the pictures to prove it.
Perfect.
Indian growing. He got a shovel. This knock out here got tobacco growing. He out here, that's a bill. He on the farm. This knocker not a slave. This knocker got on jewelry. Those are hoop gold earrings. Those feathers on his loincloth, that ain't no tobacco leaves on his loincloth. Those are feathers. The tobacco down here growing out the ground and in his pipe. He don't wear tobacco leaves, he smoke. (1628), James Hay, the Earl of Carlisle, who had secured patents from Barbados from King Charles I of England, sent Captain Wolverstone to Barbados with 64 men, who immediately enslaved the 40 Arawaks that had been peacefully teaching the settlers how to plant cassava and tobacco. He said, slave that knocker. Sitting that knocker up there in Carolina somewhere. So y'all don't learn how to plant the dope yet? If y'all don't learn how to plant the dope, we don't need them no more.
Boom shakalaka!
Hey, the real touching this defense league in the house. Salute. Salute. But these folks are some poor liars though, cause like it just like they need American history need to be taught better and need to be taught correctly. They're being fed lies. One Arawak escaped and returned to Guyana. Look, they're talking about the African slave escaped and went back to the tribe and intermarried with Indians. Here you go. One Arawak escaped and returned to Guyana on a Dutch ship and told the tale of his tribe to his tribe. Look, he escaped and went back to the tribe. I told y'all. You was never from Africa at all. Now the Naga done escaped, got back to his tribe. They done put out. Next thing you know, they putting these out. Yeah, from Virginia, yeah. The dog escaped, get back with his tribe. They putting this out now, talking about escaped Africa. They said, yeah, he escaped and he possibly joined the Indian tribe. Look what they was doing, man. These people stupid as hell, man. They say one Arawak escaped and returned to Guyana on a Dutch ship and told the tale to his tribe. The result created such anger amongst the Lokono Arawaks of Guyana, who spoke the same language as the Igneri and considered them to merely be the island-dwelling branch on the tribe. Look, they brethren, they knew it. They were saying, so what? We in Florida and they in Haiti. Them our brothers for real. So, they said, so what? We in Carolina and they in Haiti or they down them our brothers for real. And them knockers was pissed off. They say not a separate people. That they threatened to kill every, with capital letters, every Dutch person in Guyana if the 39 remaining enslaved Arawaks in Barbados were not released and returned to Guyana. The Dutch governor had to marry the daughters of a powerful Kalina Carib chief, a Carib, not an African, Carib nigga, the Garifuna, whatever, not Africans, in Guyana in order to get that tribe to protect him. He had to marry an Indian to get, he had to marry a nigga to get protection. But he still had to pay the English colonists in Barbados a ransom to get the Arawaks back. I personally feel that Igneri is just Europeans' ear corruption of Kari, which in Lokono Arawak just mean island. Okay, all right. His personal, I don't care about his personal thoughts. I just care about the facts. 1632, a clue year. The heavy intoxication of European settlers from Amerindians made cassava beer in Barbados was noted by Campbell. Only Amerindian women knew how to make cassava alcohol, and no sugar cane rum. What that was? Moonshine? Alright. So it's more on that. I ain't gonna read that whole one. Let's go to another source. Beyond 1619, Slavery and the Cultures of America. Now, somebody wrote this in August 2019. Stephanie Hall. Let's see what her hijack talking about. August 2019 marks 400 years since a group of about 20 Africans were brought to the new colony of Virginia. We just went over that where no African, them Negroes came from down there in the down Caribbean and traded as slaves for food. It was the beginning of African American slavery in the continental British colonies that became the United States. The events of 1619, look, in the British colonies, they say it was the beginning of African slavery. It's in the British colonies, right? Right here, it say Caribbean and South American native slaves were sold in the British colonies. The British colonies, eh? Yeah, African slavery in the continental British colonies that became the U.S. The events of 1619 are well documented, and the British became the major importers of American Indians to North America. So it has come to mark the start of the slave trade in what was to be the U.S. But the facts are often overstated, as the beginning of slavery in North America, for example. The European practice of using slave labor in the New World is older and more complex than that. From a cultural point of view, understanding the larger picture furthers not only historical understanding, but also the understanding of the culture and history of the peoples who are descended from those subjected to slavery, and the centuries-old sources of prejudice they have faced. This is a topic bigger than can be covered in a blog post. So what I aim to do here is to talk about some of the history we should think about in addition to the 1619 event, and point to some examples of items from American folklore center collections that you can explore. Look, this supposed to be this. Look at these Arawak Taino Negroes. Look at this. Look what it say. Labaya Baba, a Garifuna band. Told y'all these Naga carols. From New York, performing at the Library of Congress, the Garifuna are descendants from native people of St. Vincent in the Caribbean, and slaves who were just other native people who survived the shipwreck. They always talking about a damn shipwreck. How do you Negroes get out here? Where you Negroes come from? Yeah, it must have been a shipwreck. The Europeans who set up trade and settlement. See, that's how they explain when they find these Negroes on islands and stuff and say, well, how the hell they got here? They say it had to be a shipwreck. You know why they say it had to be a shipwreck? Because they have no ship or no records of a ship bringing no fucking African slaves to these places. Salute. They have no ship, no record of a ship, no date of no ship bringing Africans to these islands. So to explain it away, they say it must have been a shipwreck. We got people out here dumb as a doorknob, literally believing that stupid story. They believe the lack of evidence as evidence. They believe the lack of having evidence is the evidence. They say it had to be a shipwreck because we don't have a ship. No, how about these are the indigenous people and they were just there, you fool. And the history tells of the enslavement of the indigenous people. The European who set up trade and settlements in Americas beginning with Columbus' voyage in 1492 saw slavery as an indispensable source of labor. Indigenous slavery was already part of the social construct and economy of Spain. Talking about African. In Columbus Trading Center on the island of Hispaniola in the Caribbean, it was the native Arawak Indians who were enslaved. Enslavement of native peoples in North and South America became common not only in the case of Spanish merchants and settlers, but for other European settlers, all of them, all the colonizers who learned the practices from the Spanish in what became the United States. The Spanish first enslaved the Taino in Puerto Rico in early 1500. The French and the Danish who colonized what are now the U.S. Virgin Islands also enslaved the native population. Caribbean and South American native slaves were sold in the British colonies on the continent and also taken as booty and raised by the British on the Spanish. So when the colonizers fighting each other, they were stealing the Negroes from each other. Indians were often rounded up and forced into slavery. Who was rounded up and forced into slavery? Indians. There were also captive slaves taken in war by Indians, traded to Europeans for goods. Some Indian peoples at the time of European contact had a practice of captive slavery that was once common in many parts of the world. For a captive taken in battle to be kept as a slave was considered mercy, and that person might be freed at some point if they were considered trustworthy. Since Indian slaves were rarely kept for or traded a long distance from their own people, they might hope to escape or to be returned to their people. Who escaped and went back to the tribe, Managa? If a truce was achieved. Children of slaves were not slaves. All this changed with the European enslavement of Indians. As slaves were considered slaves for life, they were traded across very long distances and children were born into slavery. So what are these long distances they was traded across, sending Nagas from Carolina down to the Caribbean and turning their children into slaves? All this change, huh? While enslavements of Indians by Europeans occurred in all parts of North America, all parts. Everywhere they told you an African slave ship landed, it was really American Indians. And persisted until the 19th century. In the British colonies, it was especially prevalent in the Southeast in the 17th to 18th centuries. It was the common early form of slavery in the Carolinas and also in Georgia. So when they tell you they was trading, they was bringing and swapping out, like the other article told us, swapping out people from the islands for Africans. All that's a lie. It was other Indians. They say They say it was a common early form of slavery in the Carolinas and also in Georgia, where African slavery was initially not allowed. It was never allowed in Georgia. African slavery never existed. It was only Indians. In the early days of the French settlement in New Orleans and Mobile, Indian slaves, and these Indian slaves were black, so-called black. They were Negro. They were not Africans. These Negroes were Indians, were commonly kept along other Indian slaves, not Africans. They never brought Africans. No proof, no records, no ships, no culture. They say the decline in Indian slavery in the Caribbean and in the Southeast came as the population of Indians was decimated. It wasn't decimated on paper. You started calling them Negro and African American. Salute. We know what happened. We know what happened. Yeah, I see we got a teller in here, a little troll or goofy. A fuck bitch, fuck pussy bitch name on Xavier. Xavier, you want to call in and have a conversation with me? I put my phone in the chat. I can embarrass you on the live stream if you like. Your punk ass. You over here, you monkey smelling Neanderthal. You smell like a sack of nuts. You over here up on our nut sack for because you want to learn real history with your stupid ass. Your ancestors is monkeys. You Neanderthal monkey son of a bitch. I will start the lesson to go off on your goof ass because you all up in here running your jaw. You in here twerking in my chat with your booty in the air like you trying to get piped up or something. This ain't a Diddy party, Xavier. Get your bitch ass on somewhere. I ain't gonna even block you yet. I want you to keep running your mouth. Run my chat up, Xavier, with your goof ass. You look like a funky Frenchman. Let me look at your picture. Oh, you know, gave me something to do. I'm gonna get back to the lesson, but I got time. Let me see. You look like a synagogue of Satan monkey Frenchman. You like you got Neanderthal blood up there. You like you pale frail with a tail around this bitch. But you got something to say? Go make a channel, bitch. Punk ass bitch.
Biatch.
The decline in Indian slavery because they started calling you African Americans, my naga. You know, the population of Indians was decimated, they say. The population declined in the American colonies along with European treaties that forced settlement of Indians and agreed upon nations before the Indian removals in the 1830s. Meant a decline in warfare between Eastern Indian peoples. Since warfare was the foundation of Indian slavery, the Indians had few slaves to trade with the Europeans. Look, it's like, interestingly, the first Africans to step foot in the United States was likely a free man. And he wasn't African. His name was Juan. He was a Spaniard. The first Spanish Negro, you mean. Juan Garrido was not African. He was a Spaniard. These are ignorant racist people that think everybody's brown or black is from Africa. And they got these Eurasian people, Eurasian monkeys, like the fake Native Americans. They really Eurasian monkeys because that's why they got Neanderthal DNA and they got Denisovan blood. They not even original man. They not God people for real. They abomination. They whole bloodline. The fake $5 Indians.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make
They
change.
whole bloodline is abomination because they got animal DNA. They're an abomination. They're not the original man. They're not the tribe of Israel. They're not real American Indians. They are foreign invaders that came across the Bering Strait and they ain't even been here 300 years. Salute. The fake Native Americans ain't even been here 300 years. So he can run his mouth with his goof ass. I ain't gonna block him yet. I'm gonna block him in a little while because we don't need to hear too much garbage in our ear. But they don't have no history, no facts. They know the facts is us. They don't have it. They don't have it at all. American Indian, Taino survival, back into history. Let's look at this. No exhibition has actually addressed the topic of the survival of native peoples in the Caribbean after 1492. Yeah, because they call them African Americans now, or Afro-Caribbeans. The native peoples of the region, represented by the durable elements of their material culture, are contained in museums within the pre-colonial period. They say, wait a minute. They told us the natives look like Xavier. They say, but where are they? They say, we don't see any. They say, we just see a bunch of Negroes. They say, well, the people that look like Xavier, they say they only survive in the figment of your imagination and in the museums within a pre-colonial moment. To frame an exhibit that emphasizes the survival and contemporary vitality of those indigenous peoples and their legacy is an intimidating task, but such is the upcoming Taino native heritage and identity in the Caribbean, now under preparation for the National Museum of the American Indians, Smithsonian in New York. Now look at this picture right here. Let's peep what this picture right here say. Look like slaves to me, right? Look like what we're told would be slaves, right? Now you can tell the picture's been, they're looking like they're working. Everything looks whitewashed. Everything looks so whitewashed, you barely even can see his shorts anymore. They done tried to whitewash it so hard, you barely can even see his shorts. You barely see his shorts because they done whitewashed the picture so hard. Let's see who they say these slaves is. Look, enslaved natives and Africans. Enslaved native and Africans? Well, who's the natives and who's the Africans? And why everybody look white now?
You big dummy. Now who sent you, nigga?
I see nobody got long straight hair. I do see everybody got a picket bush. Definitely a Negro. You tried to whitewash it. Definitely a Negro. Definitely Negroes. Nobody got long straight hair. Everybody look white. But they're telling these enslaved natives and Africans. Which one's the natives, which one's the Africans? How about they're all natives? How about nobody's an African? How about these all just a bunch of Negroes from America? How about all that? That's all it is. As native populations were ravaged by the diseases, exploitation, and slavery that accompanied colonization, and as native peoples established a modicum of legal protection within the Spanish colonial systems, enslaved Africans. Boy, they lie so stupid that they don't even look good. They can't even make the lie look good. You should have painted a red man in here somewhere with some long straight hair. Look, that nigga look like he played football. They're bogus stories. The subjects that are generally considered to be the most emblematic of the Caribbean's native heritage are its archaeological artifacts. These form a dialogue with the native symbols and drawings in caverns and on rocks best known by locals across the region. They fill the Caribbean's national museums and private collections. They contribute to the regional visual imaginaries like image banks for tattoos, and provide work for artisans who create crafts for tourists and masterful fakes for unknowing collections. See, I already know they be making fakes. That's why we know they're a bunch of liars. They got a whole industry of making fakes. Fakes like Xavier. Yes, in the early colonial period in the Carolinas, enslaved Taino people from the Caribbean were sometimes traded for enslaved Africans. You mean from Carolina? Enslaved Africans from Carolina? You're so funny. It's hilarious, man. It's just too easy. They should have gave you knockers the internet. We are discovering our roots. They don't like the fact that we're discovering our roots. Where Xavier bitch ass still in here. Xavier, you want to call? Look out there looking like he got long hair, don't care, long straight hair. Let me go to his page. Let me see. Go to his channel. Oh hell no. Hey, we finna go to Xavier channel, y'all. Hold on, look. He out here twerking for some attention. Put your skirt down and Xavier down. all in here with your skirt up. Be a man now. I don't want you in here with your skirt up. Xavier finna go to your channel now since you want attention. You ain't got no subscribers. You ain't got no subscribers. You in here twerking harder than me. Only people on his channel is his family. Look at his last name. His name Xavier Basudio. Bootio looking Xavier Bashirtio. Xavier booty face looking ass. Xavier, let me see. Your last name is stupid. Your surname is very dumb. Sound like it come from the Isle of the Gentiles.
Biatch.
Big dummy.
All in my chat like I want to troll you back, bitch. We educational here, don't you know? If anybody gonna be a class clown in here, it's gonna be me. How dare you come to my class trying to be a clown and trying to disrupt the teacher looking like this? Looking like this? Is you stupid? You must be very stupid.
You big dummy.
Shakalaka!
I never trust anyone who takes photos with their eyes closed. You're a bitch. You're a silly little bitch. Taking photos with your eyes closed for a fool. You done fucked up, fool. You done fucked up and found out about the line of Judah up in here, bitch. You done came up in here. Bitch, don't you know I play with my food, bitch? Bitch, I want to kill you and eat you right away, bitch. I play with you first, fool. I play on my lion, fool. Lion of Judah, fool. I don't eat my food right. I want to swallow my food, fool. I play with that shit. I smack the shit around a little bit, then I eat my shit. That's how I do for Xavier with your bitch ass. But you over there smoking K2? Looking like a Canaanite. You over there looking like an ugly ass Gurgashite. Ugly ass Gurgashite up in our land. Don't you take your ass back to Eurasia, bitch. You know what I'm saying? You want to meet me for? I don't want to meet your booty demon ass. I'm going to call animal control on your booty demon looking ass. Send your ass back across the border. You like an illegal alien. Where your passport at, bitch? Let me see your green card. Xavier Burrito. Your burrito face having ass. What kind of last name is Burrito? Fake ass acting like you indigenous. Love is the key. You ain't showing no love coming in my channel looking. You like your pale face ass. You a pale face. Talking crazy in my chat. You a damn pale face. Look what his only video. He got one video. Native American imposter race. 5 seconds. He got a 5-second video called Native American imposter race. He got 16 subscribers. You came to the wrong cookout, Xavier. Nobody invite you to the cookout. Why the fuck you came in here? You should have just shut the fuck up like the other colonizers if you gonna come in here and don't say nothing. Look.
Your $5 ass down before I make change.
This dog's roll $5 Indian, man. Look at this fool, man. With them dirt ass fingernails. Like you been digging in your booty with that fingernail. He been using his middle finger like a butt plug around his old gay behind. He like he got gel in his hair. Is that gel? This goofy little nigga done came in the wrong. Why you don't fuck around? Hey, collect conscience in the house. Salute the collect. He came in the wrong cookout, nigga.
Nigga.
Came to the wrong cookout. John Travolta looking ass. Looking like Hunter Biden looking ass. Hunter Biden looking ass. This motherfucker. Long nose, mole on the nose looking ass. Big long chin looking ass. Half face moon looking ass. Ace Ventura looking ass. You want to interrupt? You come to my class and interrupt the lesson. I'll make you cry and go call your mom and tell your mama. Your mama gonna be calling the class tomorrow talking about, oh, let me speak to Professor Blackjack. My son came home crying like a little bitch. He said that you were in class picking on him. I said, hey man, you sent your child in my class because he ain't got no daddy at home and talking crazy to me, disrespecting me, fed the dragon in the house. Like I won't whoop his ass in here in front of everybody to chastise this bitch ass. You know, he think I'm just some kind of teacher. He's not gonna really think I'm just a regular teacher. Man, what you been? It's like you been digging your way up under the border wall with them fingernails. It's like that nigga was digging up under the border wall with them fingernails. Y'all ever seen how them dogs be digging in the dirt? That's how he look. Like his fingernail look. His fingernail look like he been digging up under the Trump border wall like this. Xavier over that bitch like this here, y'all. Digging up under the border wall, them dirty ass fingernails. I'm like, damn, his ass ain't got in here again. He's like, damn, man, get his ass out of here, man. Hell, his ass ain't from over here, man. Messing up our population, bringing these bad genes up in our country. Hell out of here, fool. What's wrong with you? But back to your ugly ass, though. I got time now. You done disrupted my lesson. I got you in the octagon now like John Bones, bitch. I'm gonna choke your ass out of here. Like John Bones. I seen John Bones choke one of these ugly MFers out. Choke that knock out like John Bones right here. Around your neck like a python right now, Xavier. Let's see what else you got in here. You got a Facebook, Xavier? Let's see. This is what I think about being an imposter race in America, with my ancestors in the ground since time began. Bitch, please, your ancestors ain't in the ground over here since time began. Ours is. Your ancestors ain't the oldest skull found, bitch. Talking about his ancestors in the ground since time began. I knew you colonizers be coming in here. I knew it! I knew you colonizers be watching, trying to learn the real history. I knew it! Colonizers coming in here, fake $5 innings. I knew they coming in here. I knew they be coming in here trying to learn what we got. Trying to learn the truth. The oldest, Louisiana, the oldest. My ancestors buried in the ground over here. Your ancestors, huh? I think not, Xavier. Don't look like you, Xavier. Doesn't look like you whatsoever, Xavier. Talking about your ancestors buried in the ground. Bitch, please. Your ancestors a bitch.
Biatch.
Your man me a white hoe.
Biatch.
Ugly ass bitch. Talking about his ancestors buried in the ground. You gay as hell. This a rainbow channel, man. I done came across the LGBT. Hold on, man. You come here hating on me. You LGBT on top of that? You LGBTQ looking ass. This nigga's, bruh. See, man, I can't even hit nobody looking like this with a closed fist. I had to smack him with like an open hand smack. Smack him and watch his hair whip. I can't even hit him with it. I'm for real. If I fought him with my fist, I feel bad for real. I feel like I don't like to feel like no bully, because that's what everybody will say. Man, you ain't have to do him like that, Blackjack. You ain't have to do that. I'm gonna feel bad. That's why I just slap him, because I had to make it funny. Slap the shit out of his ass a couple times. Look at his arms. Bruh, don't come in here on it, cause we on the internet talking crazy to me with them spaghetti arms, looking like you look like you skinny fat, like you got diabetes or something, but you skinny fat though. How the hell you get skinny fat diabetes, nigga? You out here talking shit to me. I wish you were locked up in the octagon with me, or in the jailhouse even, where you can't run. You're gonna be able to get to the panic button, fool. You don't see these pipe, fool. You don't. Yo, bitch ass fool. Fool, you don't see these. Bitch ass nigga, man. Killed me one of these illegal aliens. He fool don't know how to choke his ass out. Like John with these. Like see how Hulk Hogan used to be like that on you niggas? Yeah, why? Like 500 pounds, nigga shit, choke the shit out of his bitch ass. He can be crying and screaming, choking. He can't even scream while I get to choking his ass. He don't even be able to scream. Cause you can't scream when somebody choking you. You can't scream when somebody choking you, boy. You over there looking stupid. Boy, you ain't gonna be able to scream, boy. You ain't gonna be able to fight back, boy. I know you can't run. Nigga, I played fullback, nigga. I know I'm fast. I ran a 4.5 and a 40. I know you can't run from me. I'm gonna run you down if I see you. I'm gonna choke you. I'm gonna grab you by your ponytail and I'm gonna slam you on your head. Look at them weak. I know you ain't never fought nobody. Look at your knuckles. You, hey, Task Force CEO in the house, salute. You want to come here talking crazy like we don't got time to play with you. We'll spend a whole hour on you. You got this damn Superman hairdo looking like Fabio or somebody. You acting like you a tough guy. Talking about your ancestors buried in the soil and all this here since the beginning. Your ancestors don't look nothing like this. Your ancestors not buried in the soil since the beginning. You was a fool. You an idiot. You a dumbass. You're a descendant of a colonizer. You're a descendant of a monkey. The rhesus monkey. That's what you come from. Thank you to all the native women for keeping me a slave. Man, shut your stupid ass up. It's all gain to you, huh? It's all gain to you. One big gain, huh? Coming here for some attention, huh? You ain't gonna never come here twerking again, is you? Hit me in the chat, tell me you ain't gonna never bring your goof ass in here twerking no more. Papa Short in the house. He talking about he in Sacramento, California, your gay ass. Your gay ass. Girly man, look at this fool, man. Bro, you ain't got a tub on your body, bro. I can't even be tough with you no more. I was trying to put my tough guy on his ass. I can't even be tough with him no more, man. He the jailhouse bitch. He the dude niggas in jail be throwing their boxes on. Nigga, go clean my drawers, nigga. Get these knee drawers. Better be white, nigga. When you finish scrubbing my drawers, nigga, they better be motherfucking white like they knew. That's what this nigga is in jail. He a laundry nigga. Nigga throwing drawers all in his face. Goof ass niggas, man. Come here playing with me, man. You got the wrong one. You ain't think a YouTube will put your ass on blast like this. You lucky. Where you about me section at? You ain't got no about me. You better not have no about me. Oh, wait a minute. There you go. There you go. I knew it. Facebook. On your Facebook page now, nigga. Don't be sending me no friend requests either, nigga. Oh, hell no, man. I'm done, man. I am so done, man. Oh, Lord, man. Why do these gay niggas come to my channel, man? That's why I stopped being on camera like that. Because I know these gay niggas be watching me, man. I knew some gay niggas watching me. I think, matter of fact, you the gay nigga that sent me the cash out that time, ain't it? Let me go look back at my cash out. I think, Xavier, you don't want... Yeah, it is you. You sent me that cash out that time. I ain't tell y'all about this. I gotta pull my cash app up. He sent me a cash app about a month ago, but I ain't even say nothing about. Y'all know how I usually shout out the cash out. People send me cash out, but it came from. It's okay. It was a cash out from cash.app/zestyzay.com. I said, who is Zesty Zay? So I clicked on it. I ain't really catch it because he got his eyes closed right now. It's him. He sent me a cash out for $40 talking about. Keep it up, Big Daddy. You know what that mean. I was like, oh, hell no. So I immediately withdrew the $40, then I blocked his ass. I I ain't know this was Zesty Zay from Cash Out. Okay, I see what it is now. I just put 2 and 2 together. He in Sacramento. Yeah, you lucky, boy. You better be way over there, boy. You lucky you ain't in Duval, boy. We'll find your ass, boy. I know we be doing genealogy and all. We'll get your address, boy. You got your pictures online and all this. You don't know what not gonna find your address out here, boy. You better stop playing with me. Pull up on your bitch ass. Sacramento. How you on Facebook with 7 followers? I don't even be on Facebook and I got more than 7 followers. This nigga, we did a whole show about this nigga. He got the same gay little picture. Look. You a bum too. This nigga is a bum, dog. You a bum. Why your clothes all tore up? You gay as hell, bro. This nigga got his shoulder out. This nigga got his shoulder out. Nigga, you gay, bro. You gay as hell, bro. You look like a wet dog. You look like a, I don't know, you look like a snickerdoodle. Y'all ever seen a snickerdoodle? He look like a snickerdoodle. Let's put up his uncle. He a son of an uncle, son of a monkey's uncle. A son of a snickerdoodle. Nah, the dog, not the cookie, fool. No, what it's called? No, it ain't even called a snickerdoodle. I'm so retarded. What that shit called? It's something no, it's something, some kind of doodle. It's a dog, but they call it a doodle. What it is? Put it in the chat, white boy. I know you know what it is. Not a Yankee doodle. He's a, what kind of doodle he is, man? He's like a standard doodle. Yeah, standard doodle. What it's called, man? I know y'all know what it is. See, I don't know a lot about white dogs, man. Let me put standard doodle. Let me see what happens. I can't think of the name of it, but let me see if it look like him. That's him. I told you. Look. I know what I'm talking about. I be talking crazy sometimes, but I know what I'm talking about. I say the nigga look like a standard doodle. He do look like a doodle. Labradoodle. That's what it is. Labradoodle. Feather Dragon know her dog. Feather Dragon know the dogs. Labradoodle. I knew it. Feather Dragon on point. Labradoodle looking ass. Hair shed and all on the nugget. Labradoodle looking ass coming here fucking with me. You better leave me alone, fool. I'm real ignorant. I might be kind of smart, but I'm real ignorant too. Real ignorant. I don't give a damn. I don't care if people call me stupid. I don't care, cause I know I'm smarter than them anyway. I don't mind acting stupid on your ass. Why you got your hand like that? This dude weird. And his mattress on the floor. His mattress on the floor. That mattress is on the floor. You cannot tell me you got a box spring and a bed rail up under there. I can tell how your knees is. Your feet is on the floor right now. Your knees are caught upwards in the air like your feet are on the floor because your mattress is on the floor. Is your mattress a little dirty? This nigga got his mattress. This nigga talking crazy to me. Got his mattress. You don't know, nigga. I don't miss nothing. You better have your shit straight before you come here talking crazy to me. You should have had your Facebook picture straight. You should have had your YouTube channel straight. Don't you ever come in here fucking with me with your shit out of order like this. You exposing the fact that your mattress is on the floor, my nigga. Like I ain't never seen a mattress on the floor before. Nigga sleeping on the floor. Come here talking crazy to me. Before you talk crazy to me, stop sleeping on the floor, motherfucker. Sleeping on the floor and shit, your dirty ass. You dirty ass floor sweeper. Look at her knees caught way up because he sleep on the floor. Don't no regular human child have your knees like that. No regular chill have your knees way up like that. This stupid motherfucker. He's sleeping in the teepee. Talking crazy to me, man. You better get out of here, man. You better get out of here, man. I'm the wrong. You better ask people that went to school with me. I'm the wrong nigga to fuck with when it come to roasting this shit. You better just leave me alone. Cause it's gonna turn out bad for you. And if you wanna fight, I'm gonna beat your ass. You talk crazy, you in here crying in class, and you think somebody's scared of you because you crying, and when the class go out, the teacher not gonna come out here and help you. You get in my face, I'm gonna smack the shit out your ass. I don't care about getting suspended. I don't give a fuck. Whoop your ass like I did the last person. You get mad because I call your mama a bitch. I talk shit.
Biatch.
Everybody had the whole class laughing at your stupid ass. I went to a real ghetto school. I went to a school full of nigglets, and we had 2 white boys. 2 white boys and the rest nigglets. My whole school. I am an expert in roasting and fighting. So if you want some, you come over here, you came to the right channel. What is all this post you got talking? Asians, black and white are here throughout all the Americas, including... Nah, shut up. There is a new movie. Shut up! Every person's soulmate in heaven. Shut your bitch ass up. You talk about a bunch of nothing. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. Coming in here. Come here talking crazy. You a white man. Come here talking native stuff. You a damn white man. How dare you talk native talk? Everybody can see you a pale face. You are the epitome of a pale face. My ancestors would have called you a pale face to your face. Brought you goof ass in here to get abused. That's what you did. You lucky I got some other shit to go do. I'll do another show with your face on the thumbnail. He looked like a beat freak. Call him a beat freak. Oh, who dressed like... This man dressed like a bum, and he sleep on the floor, man. He gay with his shoulder out. He need a haircut, man. I can see so many problems with this picture, man. And he come here talking crazy, man. Like I'll make sure he don't come on another episode talking crazy. That's gonna be the last thing he do. I'll never come over here talking crazy no more. You got some more pictures in here, boy? See, this boy got some more pictures in here we can laugh at. He ain't got that many. He a loser. I don't even be on my Facebook page. I got more photos than this. He got him and his cat, man. He a cat lady. He a childish cat lady. Yeah. Childish cat lady. That's what this is. Let's see where he checking in at. Look at his, this one nowhere. I'm not gonna go nowhere. He don't go no damn way. He never checked me in nowhere. Loser. Loser! Not gonna go to no events. He ain't got no friends. Loser! No friends to show. You people be miserable, man. That's why they be doing. That's why they be over here twerking on my channel and doing what they do. They losers. They ain't got no friends, no nothing. Ain't nobody following him. Ain't nobody want to be on here looking at no ugly ass cat. I hope your cat get hit by a car.
Biatch.
I hope your cat get hit by a bus. I hope a bus ride down the street and run your cat over and smash him where you look like meatloaf out there. I want to see you on the curb crying about your cat. Hey, oh, you little bitch. Never trust a grown man with a cat. I don't trust no grown man with a cat. Ain't like you got a cat and some other animals too. Like you got a dog, or you got a pit bull, you got a cat, you got a fish. It's not got a cat. Never trust no man with no cat. Something about never trust no man. Cause what me, I don't know no. I don't. None of my friends just got a cat. None of my friends ain't got no cat. He a whole male cat lady. I bet his house smell like cat pee. That cat be pissing on that mattress and sleeping in that bed. That bed smell like cat litter. Bed smell like cat booty. he probably be sharing nuts with that cat. Pigs in the blanket and shit. Him and that cat leaking on a sack of nuts together. Yeah. You know what kind of dude this is. Hey, dude don't know, boy. They come here to show, boy. This show will turn into a show about you, boy. You better start that, hey, boy. Anybody else in the background? You ever thought about talking shit? Don't do it. Well, at least if you're gonna come here and talk shit, make sure you have your page and shit blocked and you have your shit straight. Cause I'm gonna go to your chat. I'm gonna go to your channel. I'm going everywhere. If you got a Twitter link, any link you got in here, I'm going to it. You come here talking crazy, you better have your shit together. You better have no link, nothing. Cause I'm coming. And I might spend about an hour fucking with you. I don't care. Hey man, I'm Black Jack, man. How's the cons, man? I'm gonna get it to y'all later, man. Yeah.
You big dummy.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Motherfucking word, and this shit is over.